Hey, yo, we live. Yeah, we live. Yeah, we live. So anyway, today I want to talk about, tonight I want to talk about perception. A lot of people never think about it, but I think it's really very important to understand the different way people perceive you and the way you perceive yourself. Some people, they don't like, you know what they don't like? They don't like that people perceive them in a way that they don't want to be, received. And that's the hard part about accepting. You know how they tell you that, like, you take that, the first step of getting past something is acknowledgement. And I think that's like really about understanding how you're viewed, because it's always the way you see things, the way people see you, and the real you, right? So like your perception, a lot of people, you know what's good about the perception? You can talk about that, and you can also talk about the way people perceive our youth, our black people, or white people, or whatever, Asians, whatever you want to say, whatever culture. Because everybody always, no matter if they say they are judgmental or not, you are. You judge people. Everybody judges. When you look at somebody, your first instinct is to judge them because of off what you see. There's been times where you probably don't like a person just because of your first interaction and a couple things you've learned or known about them. But that doesn't mean that you can't get to like a person. So it's like more so about the perception or how people take you in, right? I think perception in life is really important, because a lot of people, you can, they want to be real or whatever it is that they call real, or gangster or whatever, or they want to be their self. And it's fine to be yourself, but I feel like in certain environments, you need to learn how to be yourself and adapt. Come on, a little faster. All right. So, by being able to adapt, you're not gonna go to a wedding or go to a wedding like in some shorts and some sneakers and something. So it's all about adapting. Or you're gonna be even the most hood or whatever person, they always adapt to their surroundings. So I think the perception is that when people wear certain things or look a certain way or talk a certain way, that they're viewed a certain way. And that's understandable, but the knowledge that you have in your head should never let somebody else make you feel less of a person or more of a person. You should just know who you are just off of your life experiences and your knowledge. There's times where I feel like people need to be able to verbally express themselves in a very, like, more of an appropriate way of just knowing that you have enough knowledge to get your point across and not have to scream or not have to come out of your normal character, and coming out your character is like, that's part of how you are received from other people. It's like, okay, they're gonna do this, they're gonna act like that, the angry black person, or this asshole, or whatever you are perceived as. But it's not to prove anybody else wrong, it's to really prove yourself wrong or right when it comes to coming off a certain way, like how you perceive, just like how you dress or whatever. Like, yeah, people don't know you until you begin to talk or express yourself. But how does people know that if you're quiet or you're not saying anything, but you're dressed a certain way or you look a certain way? You have to understand when you go step into a room how you're perceived or how you're looked at. Being able to be versatile or dress in different ways to adapt to the environment is very important, because it's not always about what you want to do or how you want to look. It's more about not even fitting in, but being able to be creative with your style or however you dress or look, and understanding how you're going to be perceived when you step inside this room or you're in certain environments. So I think it is important that people know how to dress and know what to wear or not, because a lot of our youth, the first thing they think is when they go to an interview, you always have to put on a suit. That's not always what you have to do, but you just need to know how to dress. And it's good to be able to go from being wearing like active wear or wearing like jeans or sneakers or casual whatever, just knowing how and when to put on these things, because it's not to really like bring to have you chained into somebody you're not, but it's the point to be able to be in this crowd or environment and feel comfortable with your clothing, you know, and understanding that you gotta change in certain environments just because of that event. You know, it's your perception or how people perceive you. Like, you don't, you know, I have a lot of people that I've had conversations with, and after they've spoken to me, they're like, oh, I thought you was something else. And it's like, yeah, because you never really give a person a chance. You know, they always talk about don't judge it by its cover, right? And it's hard sometimes because, you know, sometimes some people come off a certain way, or maybe where you met the person or going to meet a person, it kind of gives you a certain outlook on their personality or how they might come across, you know. And I know it's hard to open up, but that's like more so one of, like, when it's one of the fears that you might have. Like, you gotta get to a point where it's like you're able to open up, be yourself, but appropriate in that environment or in that conversation that you have. Because I feel like with people, regardless of how you look, dress, or where you're from, you should always have knowledge about what's going on in life. You know, watching the news, reading the newspaper. People think that those are like things that are done by quote unquote smart people, you know, or they say these big words, or how you talk to somebody. What is so bad about being of any color, race, ethnicity, and knowing how to pronounce words that are quote unquote big words? Why are they big words? Because that means that you downgrade your intelligence because you call it big words. That sounds crazy to me, that we call things big words. I can understand if it was like a science word or something, because, you know, I ain't really good to at science. But I'm talking about, you know, just having that vernacular or that vocabulary to understand it, and also to be able to speak like that. It's not a bad thing to have to understand these big words, or know how to use them, or when to use them, when not to use them, because you don't want anybody talking to you and you're not understanding them. Sometimes it's good to ask, what did you just say? Like, no, repeat that. Yeah, like, how did you use that? Why did you use that then? You know, it doesn't make you dumb. It makes you smart, because then you are educating yourself as you're also having a conversation. You know, and